What if I told you that right now, at this very moment, your brain is being hijacked? Not by some villain in a movie, not by a hacker behind a screen, but by something much closer, much more personal to your own brain chemistry. The thing that makes you feel happy, excited, motivated, can also be the thing that traps you. This is your brain on addiction. And understanding it might be one of the most powerful things you'll ever learn about yourself. When most people hear the word addiction, they think of drugs, alcohol, or gambling. They think of something extreme. But addiction is everywhere. It's in the way you scroll through social media without realizing an hour has passed. It's in that little hit of pleasure when someone likes your post. It's in the way you crave sugar, caffeine, nicotine, video games, or even work. Addiction isn't just about substances. It's about anything that gives your brain a rush of pleasure and then demands more. Deep inside your skull, there's a small but mighty system called the reward circuit. It's built to help you survive. When you eat, laugh, accomplish something, or connect with someone, your brain releases a chemical called dopamine. Dopamine tells you, that felt good, do it again. It's the brain's way of encouraging you to repeat behaviors that keep you alive and thriving. But addictive substances and behaviors hack that system. They cause the release of dopamine at levels your brain was never meant to handle. Imagine dopamine like a text message from your brain saying, "Hey, that was amazing." Normally it's a soft pinger, pleasant notification. But when addiction takes over, it's more like your phone blowing up with hundreds of messages at once. The pleasure signal becomes so strong, so overwhelming, that your brain starts to prioritize it above everything else. Over time, natural rewards, things like talking with friends, eating your favorite food, or going outside, don't even register. They can compete, and because your brain is smart, it adapts. It turns down the sensitivity of its dopamine receptors, trying to protect itself from the overload. So now, the same activity that once gave you a huge rush barely gives you anything. At all, you start needing more just to feel okay. That's the beginning of tolerance, the feeling that one drink, one hit, one scroll isn't enough anymore. And when you try to stop, your brain rebels. Without that artificial dopamine spike, you feel flat, unmotivated, maybe even depressed. Your body isn't broken, it's just recalibrating. This is why addiction feels like such a trap. You're no longer chasing the here, chasing relief from the low. It's not about wanting to feel amazing anymore. It's about wanting to feel normal. That's what keeps people coming back even when they want to quit. And it's not just about dopamine. Addiction changes how the entire brain works. It rewires circuits related to memory, motivation, and decision making. The logical part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, the one that helps you plan, think ahead, and say no, starts to lose control. Meanwhile, the craving center, the limbic system, gets louder and louder. It's like your inner voice of reason is being drowned out by a constant whisper saying, "Just one more time." Think about that. Addiction isn't a failure of willpower. It's a rewiring of priorities deep within your brain's circuitry. That's why people can promise themselves they'll quit, mean it with all their heart, and still relapse. The decision-making system is literally being overridden by the craving system. It's not that you don't care, it's that your brain has learned to care about one thing above all else, the next hit of dopamine. But here's the good news. The same brain that can be rewired by addiction can also be rewired by recovery. The process of healing begins the moment you stop feeding the cycle. When you take away the quick hits of pleasure, your dopamine system starts to reset. Slowly, the brain begins to create new pathways, new ways to feel good. Naturally, it's not instant. In fact, it can feel worse before it feels better. Because your brain, used to fireworks, suddenly has to adjust to candlelight. But over time, those small sparks add up. You start to enjoy ordinary things again. Food tastes better. Conversations feel richer. Your mind feels clearer. Each day without giving in strengthens your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that says, "I'm in control." Every time you resist an urge, no matter how small, you're teaching your brain that it doesn't need that rush to survive. You're building new habits, new connections, new strengths. Science shows that the brain's ability to change, called neuroplasticity, means recovery is absolutely possible. Neurons that fire together wire together. That means the more you practice new behaviors, new coping mechanisms, new ways of finding joy, the more your brain adapts to support them. Exercise, connection, sleep, creativity, learning, all of these release smaller, steady amounts of dopamine in a healthy rhythm that your brain can sustain. Over time, that's how balance returns. And maybe the most powerful thing to remember is this: addiction thrives in shame and secrecy. The more you hide it, the stronger it grows. But when you understand that it's not about weakness, when you realize it's about brain chemistry and adaptation, the shame starts to fade. And when shame fades, healing can begin. Because you can't fight something you don't understand, but once you understand it, you can face it. So, the next time you feel that craving, the itch to check your phone again, to have just one more drink to take, Just one more hit pause. Take a breath. Remind yourself, this isn't about willpower. It's about rewiring your brain. Every moment you resist, you're changing those neural pathways. You're building a stronger version of yourself, one choice at a time. Addiction isn't the end of control, it's the beginning of awareness. And awareness is power. Once you see how addiction hijacks your brain, you can start taking it back. Because the truth is, your brain isn't your enemy. It's trying to protect you, even when it goes too far. When you learn to work with it through patience, support, and time, you rediscover what real pleasure feels like. Not a rush, but peace. Not chaos, but clarity. Your brain on addiction is powerful, but your brain in recovery is unstoppable. It learns, it adapts, it heals. It remembers how to find joy in the simple things again: the sunrise, the laughter of a friend, the satisfaction of being present. That's the real high. That's the one worth chasing. So don't let addiction define you. Let recovery reveal you. Because once you understand what's really happening inside your head, you take back control. Your brain is powerful. Make it work for you.